Hello and welcome to Sonata Zamba. My name is Mariam Pagna. Today with me in the studio, I have Madam Getty, the founder of SmockyWorld. Welcome.
Thank you.
Alright, so let's get straight into it. We're talking about SmockyWorld. How did it all start?
Well, SmockyWorld started, it didn't start as SmockyWorld actually.
Okay.
It started as Cutie Pie. It was a boutique before. I used to import from Italy, from China, from Ghana. I used to import from, those are imports I also import from them as well. I take from them and then sell. But it wasn't that interesting for me. I felt that we already made clothes. I couldn't really play around with it.
Yeah.
And so I thought about probably going into getting people to design stuff I was interested in. I designed myself anyway.
Okay.
But what made me go into smocks was that I think after my wedding, my auntie gave me a fabric and then I sewed it. Everybody was like, oh, this is very beautiful, this is nice, where did you get it from? And it was the Burkina fabrics. Okay. So I asked there for some to come. The first batch came and it went like that. And the second batch, so I started dealing with just fabrics and not sewing. And I was like, oh, my interest has always been in actually designing stuff out of it. And I also noticed that smocks have always been around, but was boring, kind of, exactly. People were doing it just one way and one style. And I was like, let me put a little style to it to see if it will make market. I felt there was a problem there. So it was a solution I was trying to bring. So I started trying to mix fabrics and colors, and I also added advising people on what colors suited their skin form, their body forms, and people were glad about it because gone are the days you go to Essentials and say, okay, so I have this picture. Can you create this for me? But that wasn't my style. Mine was like, okay, this is your body type. I think maybe a peplum skirt with a crop top or this would do for you. And I think you should mix this color and this color to make up your color. And people were so excited because wherever they went, they stood out. So it started building up and it was great.
Okay, that's fine. Alright, so why the smock necessarily? Because, there are other Ghanaian, fabrics like the kente and all of that. So why the smock?
I chose smock because I wasn't just about fashion as well.
Okay.
It was about history. I felt that the smock fabric wasn't out there, and it was really authentic and good because we have two benefits in SmockyWorld or of SmockyWorld. We don't only sell the fabrics, we sell the history behind it. So each fabric kind of has a name. So somebody will ask, what's the name of this fabric? And you say maybe it's called a jakpa. What is jakpa? Jakpa is the law that led the Gunjas.
Oh, so you actually have names for it?
Okay. Most of them, those that we actually create ourselves by mixing colors for people, we name them ourselves.
Okay.
For instance, people come with their wedding colors and say, my color is maybe blue, green. Then you ask the couple, do you want us to name it after you? And then it goes like that.
Okay.
If you've noticed, most of the fabrics that the former First Lady, Her Excellency Rodina, and
the former one.
And then the second lady, most of the fabrics they wear are named after them, and that's how the smock business actually works.
Okay.
So fabrics that are not named originally, those new ones we mix up ourselves. We try to give them flashy names, but the indigenous ones are those that sell the history. So we get to mix both in SmockyWorld.
Okay, that's good. All right. So, I've been wondering, as a banker, what made you delve into business or something like this?
Well, fashion is my passion. I'll say fashion is like my hobby. So for me, SmockyWorld is not work. It's more of to stress off. So if the bank, I do a lot of thinking and lots of people management and stuff, then I come home and then do the fashion. As somebody will take tennis, somebody will take golf, somebody will take swimming. Fashion is mine. That's my hobby actually. So it's not. People see it as double role. The only advantage is that I'm making money out of my hobby.
Alright, that's a good thing. Okay, so would you say that the smock has gotten some sort of attention now, like in Ghana here?
I think it has. I was actually surprised. Today being 5th March, most of the schools are supposed to dress cultural day. Most of the schools, even in Accra schools, I did just a short survey. I spoke to some friends that teach in schools, and funny enough, most of the kids are in Smocks.
Wow.
Yeah, not necessarily Northerners, because I tried checking from some schools in Accra, Kumasi, and around, and they were all in Smock. I was really impressed. So you can see it's really, really gone far, you know. And recently, Beyonce was Smock.
Wow.
Yeah, she was Smock, and she's into African fabrics as well. So I think we are out there. We actually have gone further than we think, and there is even more to go in regards to that. That's where we actually want to get to. I mean, SmockyWorld, we want to get there. So to actually send the name and the history out, so they just don't buy the fabric. It's I'm buying a fabric. Oh, this fabric is nice. It's yellow, green, blue, you know. Yeah. But also, okay, I'm buying Japan, and what's the history behind it? You know, these international people want to actually know the history behind each person. We've gone at the days where they say, oh, Northerners, and they think we are all one tribe. For the Smocks, it also gives that history. So we have the Dagomba fabric. We have the Guinea fowl one, the history behind it is there. The Gonja fabric, we have it. The Upper West fabric has history. The Burkina fabrics, that's not even Ghanaian, has history behind its weaving. The Upper East fabrics have history as well. Now the Volta people have also made very beautiful fabrics and colorful one as well. So it's really selling the African, the Ghanaian culture. It's not just about the northern side of it. The fabrics are a way of actually selling. Unlike we say culture is the way people live, food, water, drinks. Fabrics is actually selling the culture of Africans and of Ghanaians, and that's on a good note.
Okay, right. So how has business been like? You know, coping with challenges that comes with the whole thing.
Well, for now, it's competition that's quite tough, but I take it as a good challenge, because if you don't really have anybody to measure up to, you really are competing against yourself, and that's quite boring. So for now, it's good. Most people have gone into the Smock business. Most people are understanding it. Most people are diversifying and finding ways to make it more interesting. So for me, I think that's one challenge, but it's something that that's actually helping me grow, because you learn from others. And the good thing is that the kente has been used in so many ways, so we look at it in that aspect of it and then try to incorporate it into the small business as well. So for now, the challenges, the industry challenge in the Smock sales is what I'll talk about. But when it comes to some challenges I'm facing in SmockyWorld or faced before, I think initially my problem was that most of the weavers, because of the literacy rate, they wove outside. They still do anyway, but those days they weave outside and the whole thing comes out very dirty. But we try to find ways to let them bring out clean fabrics. For instance, we got these long poly bags where they weave on, so when they are done, they give you neat work. Also, another challenge I faced during those days was the colors. Maybe somebody's wedding, the person will come and say, I want peach and green, and then the weaver will go and bring you something else, you know. And those are the challenges, the small challenges. So you have to meet the weavers and literally teach them colors, you know, and say, this is green, this is yellow. When the person breaks it, this is it. Or sometimes they see similar colors, you probably say, maybe mix red, and then you send the red color. You actually send the color code to the weaver, and the weaver will see and say, okay, it's good, I can be able to do it. And the person will bring peach. The person will tell you, but they're all red. Are they not all red, you know? And those were the little challenges. But we've improved along the way. We have improved, and it's not something I'll call a challenge right now, but those were the challenges I faced initially.
Right. Okay. So let's get a bit more personal. How was growing up for you?
Growing up was fun. Most people say I was a pampered child. Maybe I was. I'm the fourth child of 4 children. I don't like saying I'm the last one.
Okay.
I like to say I'm the fourth child of 4 children. I'm the third girl. I have a senior brother, and then I have 2 sisters before me. We were actually a very close-knit family. We grew up together. We did a lot of things together. For instance, we the 3 girls, we all went to the same school. I remember that when I was choosing my schools, I chose the same school, first, second, third, because my 2 sisters had attended there, and I wanted to be there, you know, so we can have chats. So it's really been a close-knit. We still are that close-knit of a family. We talk a lot. We pray together. You know, that's a kind of Christian upbringing we had. And so I would say, for growing up, I haven't been in really, I won't say I've been in harsh conditions, you know, saying I was hungry and I had to go and sell to know. I didn't go through that. But nonetheless, I was also very forceful. Others actually make it after they have gone through a lot. but I didn't really go through. I think most of my my growing up was actually easy. I don't know whether I would say that's why it's probably made it so easy for me to, because my parents were quite supportive people. So anything you want to do, they push and support you. But the deal with my dad especially was that, well, I'll let you go, but make sure you bring results. Yeah. I think I've taken that behavior too.
Okay. So let's talk about family, as in husband, children, and marriage, and then handling it with being a banker and being a founder of SmockyWorld. How does that go for you?
Well, I would say that I've succeeded, or it's going well because of the support system I have. Yeah. I'm married with 3 boys, and it's not an easy job. 3 boys under the age of 7. And it's not easy because they are in their most active stages of life, you know. So they want to be sure they're there. They want to be sure they have you, and work also wants to have you as well. But it's really been very supportive. We pay for services to help us. We pay for services. We pay for nannies, because currently we have about 2 nannies for the 3 children, and my husband has really been supportive in regards to taking, so because I travel a lot because of my other Fidelity Bank, you know, and so I'm mostly not around. But when I'm there, I make sure I make time for them. Even when I travel, I make sure that gap time is spent with them. When you come from school, you know, you have those chat times with them. My parents have been supportive. Luckily, they're here with me, so it makes it that easy as well. So everybody kind of chips in and out to cover up for me when I'm not available. So I don't see the children missing that spot, you know, or that particular care, motherly care, because I try to still make it up. What matters is that they still hear your voice, they still see you. When you come around, or when I'm in town, we go out for swimming, we go out for dinners and lunch, just to spend that time and have that mommy time with them, you know. Mommy can never be replaced. So that's what has helped me. The support system has been great. And I'm thankful to God for that.
Okay, so I want to ask another question on that, a follow-up one. Would you say that your choice of a husband has helped you a lot? Because most of the time, you know, I've seen women that at some point, you know, running businesses, at some point they feel like, you know, because they don't have the support of their husbands, things are not really, you know, going well. So would you say that your choice of a husband and then how much support he gives you is what has made everything go like, you know, smoothly for you?
Initially, it wasn't easy. Initially, it was tough because, you know, you have to be a wife, you have to be a mother, you have to be a leader or a kind of a boss at work. And so everybody's kind of pulling you around and everybody wants that attention. Initially, it was tough because he didn't really understand. He felt it was a waste of time. Obviously, it was difficult. Monies were not coming in. And everything I received from this salary, I pushed into it, you know. So, because I was trying to grow it, that was my hobby. So he thought it was kind of waste of money, you know, pushing your hobby with all your salary and everything. But it took time for him to understand. Right now, I would say he's one of my support systems, strong support systems, but it didn't come in a day, you know, nothing good comes easy. So for now, he's really helpful, like all other family members. They've seen that it's really something that's going to be big, you know, and they've really been supportive. That has really given me that peace of mind to even go on.
So let's talk about the big people you have actually worked, you know, for, you know, getting them the fabrics or designing their clothes for them. Who are some of these people?
Okay, so last December we did this corporate souvenirs where we gave to corporate people to give to their top people, you know. We did for the Stanchart board members. We did smocks for all of them, customized one with Stanchart logo on it. We did for Bank of Ghana. We did for Fidelity. We did for the Chinese embassy. We did for the Japanese embassy. We did for the Korean embassy as well.
Impressive.
We did for Ghana Stock Exchange. We did for it's a long list. Actually, it was a list of 20 companies that we worked with. These are what's on top of my head. We did at Christmas time. That's what I'm saying. Smock has really gone far because most of these board members, you wouldn't say they were all nordness, you know, to want the smocks, and I got really good feedback that they really loved the quality that was delivered. And that's how come we did for the finance minister as well, because he wanted something very unique. That initially, I remember we were discussing he wanted us to put leather on it and then probably write Bible verses on it. And then we're like, on a white smock, probably washing. If the leather is not quality, we'll fade into it. Then we thought again, we tried so many things before we came up with that inscription and said, okay, that was the best, because when you wash it, it will still remain the way it was. And it really made an impact at the last Yana's funeral when he wore it. Tomorrow, for instance, we're hopeful to surprise some dignitaries will be wearing SmockyWorld. For instance, the regional minister will be wearing SmockyWorld. Wow. Hopefully the president will wear his as well, because he also got one, but I'm sure probably he might have variety. So we're waiting to see which one he would actually go for, but he has SmockyWorld as well. We've made for others as well, and we're hoping that we'd see them actually wear it there to make name for the brand as well. So so far it's been good. So far, it's been good for us.
Okay. So tomorrow is St. March, and I'm sure you're going. What are you wearing?
It has to be unique. It has to stand out. And telling you right now, just be like taking everything, taking the wind from the sail. Okay. So let me surprise you tomorrow. All
right, then we're really waiting to see that. Okay, so I saw something of some award nominations, Ghana Lifestyle Awards. What are some of the nominations you had?
Okay, so we won, for Ghana Lifestyle Award, we won the Best Traditional Fashion for 2019. Okay. And we also won the Best Fashion Brand for 2019. And then we also got nominated in Fashion Ghana. That one was the Best New Fashion Brand for 2019. So these are the 3 awards. Actually, these are very first nominations since SmockyWorld came up, and we got 3 at a go. Wow. And we are hopeful to grab all of it.
So how do people vote?
Okay, so for the Fashion Ghana, the voting has ended. It ended yesterday. Okay. But for the Ghana Lifestyle Award, there's a short code you go with. The short code is *713 *714 hash. Okay. So it will bring the list of the awards currently running. It's not just Ghana Lifestyle, so it will bring the awards running, and then you dial 14. 14 will bring the categories. So like I said, we have 2 categories. We have the Best Traditional Fashion Brand, and then the Fashion Brand of the Year as well. So they are listed there, so you choose both of them, and then whichever one that you'd vote for. Because there are 2 nominations, I know people get confused, but you can share the votes. I mean, you can vote. It goes with money, so if you would want to vote a 200 Ghana cedi, you can do 100, or you can vote a 200 for one, depending on how you'd want it to go. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So there's something that has been bothering me. Let me put it that way. That a lot of young ladies here in the north do not want to go into entrepreneurship. Right. I don't know what the reasons are and all of that. But what advice would you give to young ladies out here?
Everybody is not born to be an entrepreneur, you know, and so it isn't a must that everybody goes there. It really matters with your interest and what you want to do. Some people are born to be entrepreneurs. Some people are born to support entrepreneurs. Some people are born to advise entrepreneurs. Yeah. So you have to find where your interest is. For instance, my sister, the one I'm directly after, she's excellent in giving advice to me. She's like my core advisor, you know, and then you do this. So mostly I send the designs there, and then she looks at it and she's like, change this and change that. But when it comes to the color combination, at least I do all the designs, because that's my passion. So there are people like that. For her, she's not interested in probably going into the mainstream fashion. There are people like that. So for my little advice is, you need to identify your interest, what you're actually interested in. And if you identify it and you think it will work for you, you need to work hard. You need to get the right support around you to push you. You need obviously the right finances to be able to make it, and you need God to pay a lot to make sure it works for you. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for coming. This has been Sinati Zamba. See you next time.